So this is a fabulous thing to remember. When someone goes through a hard time, they hurt you emotionally. They're obnoxious, they're not nice, whatever it is, they're hurting you. Now, when you respond because you're hurt, they don't think to themselves, I deserve that. They think to themselves, like as if the story started when you hit them back. They think you started. And then they hit you, they get more angry at you. And then you have a right to get more angry at them. So the 50 times that they're going to be obnoxious to you, self-centered, not be machshiv or care about anything else, and you respond, after 50 times, they're going to look back a few months later and say, my parents don't like me. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. It's the weirdest thing. They don't like, I'm always so nice, because they don't see themselves as being so unreasonable. And then not only do they have the trauma that started this, not only do they have their pain, now they have a new trauma, a new pain, that my parents don't like me, which is a new trauma that could break anybody. It can cause you to need drugs because my parents don't like me. Even Hitler's parents liked him, thought he was cute. My parents, what did I do? I ever killed anybody? Because they don't realize how difficult they are. You said it yourself. She doesn't realize that she's off her medication and that she's miserable. She doesn't realize. So now she thinks that you're starting up with her, that you're hurting her 10 times, 20 times, 50. And meanwhile, everybody's right. But what does she walk away with? Does she walk away thinking everybody's right and I'm miserable? There's two choices. Either she walks away, people are crazy, they don't like me, they hassle me all the time, I don't understand what's wrong, why are they such bad people? Or choice number two, she says, I must be really wrong, they must be right, I must be wrong. So I'm a miserable person that I can't get along with everybody. When you want to bond with somebody in order to save them, it doesn't matter whether you push them away or you cause them to push you away. It doesn't matter. If you're jumping into the deep water and you have to save somebody, you have to connect to them. If they try to punch you or you punch them, it doesn't matter because you dropped the patient. So you have to tolerate being punched because you don't want to let go. Because you're in the deep water and you know if you let go, this person's going to float away, could end up on drugs, could end up floating away. We have so many kids not in TP. Baruch Hashem, TP is so, we don't even realize how successful we are, that almost 100% of our kids are home. We have problems, but so far we've succeeded in getting over those hurdles with TP. Now, how many kids are not home? They float away. They move out. They find somebody, whoever it is. We have to connect. So now the kid is going through a temporary breakdown. Temporary could be years, but it's temporary because you were there by the bris and by the kiddush. You remember 8, 9, 10 years old. You remember before all of this mishigas and craziness, and you know that that's your real kid and it will be after again. And now you're going through a temporary setback because they're broken. So if you're going to respond to craziness and insanity in a normal way, what's the matter with you? How could you do this? Why are you doing this? You're being so selfish, teaching, musar, showing upset, frustration. Then you now, in the nefesh hayeled, to the emotional pained person who is only acting this way because of pain, you're now causing them to feel again hated. And everybody will tell you, you're right. Parents have a right to have rules and boundaries. You should show that you're not happy about this behavior. You have to make them feel that there's a line, but you don't realize what you're doing to the kid in pain. Mashal, what is this similar to? And we all understand a kid who's a tzagat salat, a great kid, and they get sick. Let's say they have mano. Mano, you could be sick for 2 months, for 3 months. You can't even lift anything. You can't. And imagine, instead of caring, because I know I have a diagnosis of mano, so my kid doesn't get up for shachris, I don't yell at them, they're sick. They wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and say, Chaim, tell me, you want to eat breakfast? I don't want to eat breakfast. No problem, whatever you want. Everybody's nice to Chaim. Why? He didn't go to shachris. He didn't daven nicely. He didn't go to minyan. He didn't learn. What do you love about him? What's so good to love? Al-Anaraz Elei Spalalti. Well, Anaraz Elei Spalalti. Come on. I remember him Kaidim Sheyachta. I remember Acha Sheyachta. I remember before when things were normal. I remember after now that he's struggling. He's sick. Your friends come over Friday night and he wakes up because he's all off schedule and he comes to the Shabbos table in his pajamas and your friends say, that's the chinuch of your house? Azoy Kidman to Shabbos dish? And you say, no, he has mano. He's sick. Oh, he's sick, everybody. Oh, good to see you. That's it. We all understand physical. You have a diagnosis on your child of mental illness, of mental health issues, anxiety is a machla. Depression is a machla. PTSD is a machla. Symptoms of PTSD means that probably they went through a trauma. You have to diagnose according to the most likely scenario. Look at the behavior, you'll realize most likely something happened bad to this kid, a breakdown. They're going through a breakdown. And now I'm going to also make them feel bad. And now I have to teach them, like a father told me, she has no concept of money. I have to teach her. He had money. It was not that he didn't have money. It's harder when you don't have it. But he had it. I have to teach her the value of $1. You're right. But while she's in the middle of having a heart attack, she just got hit by a car. She's lying in a pool of blood. Now I'm going to start teaching her the value of $1. Can we wait until she's stable? Can we wait until she doesn't want to die? Can we wait until she's functional? And then we'll teach her the value of $1. Why does it have to be now? And the surprise at the end, as I always say, is when she's functional, you'll see she's going to know the value of $1. Because your chinuch was fine. You were mechanech the same as your other kids. And they know what the value of $1 is, but not when you're suffering. When you're in pain and you're suffering, you don't know the value of anything because you need, give me at least a gift, give me a reason, something to look forward to. Some of these kids, the only thing that's good in their life, the only person that's excited, that's really happy to see them is the UPS driver. Is there a Kana here? Yeah, Kana's here, give me my new box. And they buy stuff and they buy stuff because retail therapy is a real kind of addiction because something in the brain feels good. That's why I always say give the gifts and make them rip open the wrapping paper. It's good for the brain, trust me. I can't prove it yet, but science will prove me right. Science will say, neuroscience now comes out, gifts. I already saw an article about that. And they don't talk about unwrapping the gifts. Wrapping paper, something therapeutic. Why do we get dogs? From families get dogs? Because chemicals in the brain shoot up. These kids are dying inside. They have a machla. When you understand that, you realize now's not the time to teach good ethics and morals and the importance of dollars and the importance of even Yiddishkeit. It's just not the time. It's not appropriate. We will do all of that when the time is right.